And I got a letter from a friend who is really struggling with faces. All right, he's got some faces, but he's not sure how to go about making his face any different. I guess people get in a habit of making they do a face or something like that, but they like to make more faces or make different expressions or different things on faces and stuff. And he just said, would you do a cartoonish type face? But I mean, basically that's what caricatures are in a lot of ways. But he said mine seem more realistic, but mine really are not that realistic. They're more caricature than anything. But what you have to do is you have to experiment with faces. You have to just experiment with what you want. Now, the first thing you have to decide, what do I want on my face? Now, all this is just, we're going to do a face. You have to experiment. You have to, let me get this where it's kind of even right here. Sorry. You have to experiment on things. You have to, but when you get the basics down of doing a face, then now everybody that carves faces differently, okay? And I carve faces differently, totally, than a lot of people do. Sometimes I detail the eyes more than I detail. So what I'm going to try to do today for him, Pete, is to try to carve the simplest face I possibly can for you. Now, when we look at a face like this one, I've said it once again and I've said it over again, you want to get the face to look like an egg. Now, this does not look like an egg. An egg is not square on all sides and stuff like that. And like I said, there are so many different ways, and best thing to do is just watch many people just, the way they do faces and stuff like that. But the first thing we want to do is I want to go ahead and round this off after it's been cut out, after you get the cut out. So I'm going to come back here, and on all sides I'm going to start bringing that face down. That's the first thing you want to do. The first thing you want to do is to make that face get it in proportion of an egg, very similar to what an egg is. Because our faces really are like eggs if we look at them. Okay, now we're going to take this, and we're just going to start coming to the top up here, and we're going to start we're going to start, getting this face where it's got a rounder shape, okay? And that's going to curtail going to the different sides and cutting off, removing wood from all sides. And I do it from all sides. See, I do it from the back, I do it from the top, and I do it from the front. You see? I do it from all sides to get the roundness. And please don't feel that you have to watch every cut, okay? So that you can get the roundness, all I'm doing is just getting this rounded. And that's going to curtail taking off the sides. Oh, I'm in a neighborhood today, and then people have gotten crazy with their crazy music and stuff. Some guy going down the street. So there you go. See, now we're not there yet. We're still not there. So you want to round off this area, and to make it look like an egg, you gotta take off some in here as well. Okay, and continue to take off wood. Just sort of. Now, if you want to make your jaws bigger down here, you can leave this wider, in other words, in such a way, if you want to. But I try to, first of all, just go around the figure and make the figure as round as I possibly can. And we're getting there, see? Because that's what you want to start off with. You want to start off with, now like I said, if you want to make the jaws bigger, that's fine. You can leave that bigger in here. But I like to take off a little bit more. Okay, now you're getting there. You're almost there. You really are. Okay? And look, isn't it starting to look kind of like an egg now? Starting to look a little bit like an egg. It don't have to be a perfect egg. You see? All right. I'll take some of this down right here. Okay, now that looks more like an egg, don't it? You want to come on the sides here, and you want to make sure that you know you're getting enough of this off the back. Okay, see that? All right, now almost just like this character here, see, in a lot of ways, although this is sticking out a little bit too far, I would cut that back. And now you want to have your somewhat like this. You want your figure's head to look somewhat like this to start with. Make sure that it's rounded off. Make sure that it's, you know. And this pretty much has a resemblance to an egg. Now, it's not quite as thin as an egg, but it has a similar thing, maybe a ball. Now, okay, where's my pencil? This is the worst thing of all. Oh, here it is. Now, once you get the roundness that you want, once you get that, then you want to establish, basically, if you look from the side here, I'll take a little bit more off right there. Now, I'm not going to put a hat on him or nothing like that. We're just going to do the face, because that's what he's asking for. So look at your piece there. Okay? It's rounded. Maybe looking like a golf ball or something like that. And of course, golf ball is a lot more rounder than that. You don't want it like a golf ball necessarily where it's so round. So, then you want to work on your nose is in here, okay? Your nose is the center of your face. So what does our nose do? It protrudes, correct? Our nose protrudes. So what I do is I come on both sides of where my nose would be, and I come to the front of the face, and on one side I start taking wood off like this. And then I come on the other side and I take wood off like this. So what does that make that do? That makes that protrude in there. You see? That makes that protrude in the face there. Now from the side, look at it. Okay? From over here, look at it. It makes the face protrude. It makes this area here, where your nose is going to be, it makes it protrude. Where this neighborhood, somebody's horn's going off. It's my mother's neighborhood. But it makes it protrude like this, okay? All right, now you want to find the center point on your nose. So let's just make this our center point. And you're just going to cut, okay? Just cut along there. See that? And then come up underneath here and take that off. All right, you see that? Now, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll go ahead and make their eyes, you know, over here and things like that. I don't do that. I don't do that. I wait till the very end to do a lot of that. Now, you can go ahead and make your eyes, you know, this way, and or they'll take a gouge and they'll gouge down in here for their eye section, but I don't do that. I come over here on each side of that nose and I make it. I make a cut right here, and then I cut this way where the nose really is too far up on the face, but I'm going to cut down on the nose. But I want to make sure that my nose is established like that. See? Now, of course, it's too thick. The nose is too thick, it's too big. So we're going to cut down the nose. And what I'll do is, coming from side to side on this nose, I begin to cut the nose down. Like right here. Whoop. And right here. Whoop. Okay? Now, of course, the nose is also too thick, so I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to come here with it. I'm going to come here with it. And I'm also going to come underneath the nose here and do this. All right? See that? Now, that's just a part of it, okay? That's just a part of it. And if you look from the side here, we've got his caricature nose, in other words. I know people do different. I know people do it a lot different, but that's the way I do it. And then I begin to move this away from... Now the nose still is a little bit too big, and it's going to be taken down. It'll be taken down on both sides. Just like that. All right. So there you go. All right. Now then, my next thing, now that I established my nose, that's my first thing that I want to establish. Then I want to establish what kind of hair do I want him. Do I want his hair to come back this way, where he be bald on top, or do I want the hair to come forward, or whatever? Okay? So what I'm going to do is, let's just make the hair come forward, like come forward here. All right? Now, I'm going to come over about center ways on my face, and I'm going to come down like this. Okay? Come over here, and do the same thing. That's where my ears can go. So, if you can see that, I just draw a line down there. Very, very similar. Okay? And I'm going to take my knife. Actually, I learned this from Claude Bolton. I don't know if how many of y'all remember. And I want to take that out like that, okay? And I want to take it And I want to come over here like this, come across with my knife, and come down over here. And I want to come like this. Okay, I'm sorry. Show you. And see, I can bring that nose down anytime I want to. And I'm going to bring it down. Okay. So, I can have his hair coming all the way up here, or I can, now I'm going to just take a little bit more in here, make this, and you see what this does when I take this off? See how that thins that face up? See from the side here? Thins the face up. I just kind of, oop, oop, on both sides of that nose. Okay. Ow. Sorry. Bug bite me. All right. Now this is also where I can put my ears back over here. So I sort of enclose that face a little bit in this array of, okay. And if I want to bring that nose down or whatever, I can do it. In other words, it's not a big thing. Okay. Now he said he said about flat plane carving. Well, that's all the carving I know how to do. So, I mean, all right. Now, depending on your hair and all that other stuff, we've sort of got our face now. We've got our face here. All right. This is going to be our lower lips. All right. Now, we can bring that nose down too, just a little bit. There we go. All right. Now, I come over here and I draw a C, and I draw it big, okay? Because if it's bigger, I can cut it down, okay? But if it's too small, then it's not going to work. All right? Now, if you look at this face, it's got more taken off over here than over here. All right, but we're going to get to that later. We're not going to worry about that right now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do our. So what I do is I simply take my knife and I come around here like that, and then I take the tip of my knife and I take the wood off from there. Now, people, this is my way of doing the ear. This is not everybody's way of doing the ear. You know. So I take a lot of that wood off in there. Just like that. Okay? And I can take as much as I want. I can make it as big as I want. But usually it doesn't take a whole lot to, you know. And of course the ear is too big, but we're going to take it down. You can always take some more off. I'm doing the same thing over here. I'm taking the ear, and of course it's too big, but I start off with a lot of things that are bigger than what they should be. And then I slowly take this, and as you see, I'm doing it all with a knife. All right. Now, of course, this ear is too big, so I'm going to have to take some off right in here, which I can easily do. Watch. Shoot. And just take the knife, take it off. And the same thing over here. Just have to take this off. I'm going to take a little bit more off this ear here. Ooh, it's hot today, folks. It's hot in Texas today. Okay. So, I have my two ears on both sides, okay? Now, everybody knows basically when I do an ear, I just basically cut. Now, you can do it a number of ways. You can cut this. You can just do this. I just basically do this like this so that they'll stick out. I basically cut a V cut in those ears. Like that. And if I want to bring them down, I just bring them down. Like that. And from the front, it looks very similar to that. Now I could, you know, do all the fancy stuff, but in flat plane, that's what we do. And that, to me, is the easiest way to show somebody to get the idea of doing an ear. Okay. And this is 2. This has to come down also. This is 2. All right. Okay. But I don't think that's what he was worried so much about. It was just mostly the expressions and how the person looks, in other words. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do him with the hair coming forward, and then I'm going to show you how to do him with the hair coming back. Okay? Or being bald up there on the top. Okay? Now as far the easiest way, and I'm going to say this, the easiest way I have found on a beginner, if he wants to just, now if you look at the, so I'm going to just do this. Come up underneath here.